Alright, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the third installment of the Yankees Avenue podcast. I'm your host, Dan Rourke, and it is the morning of Thursday, March 7th, 2019. We're currently 3 weeks away from opening day when the Yankees open up at Yankee Stadium against the Orioles. And before we start, I just want to go over some notions real quick. One, don't forget to use code NYYHR for $20 off your SeatGeek purchase. I've used this code a bunch of times, and it also helps support the channel. And the other thing is, if you didn't see on my poll that I posted the other day, I'm thinking about doing an MLB The Show franchise on YouTube. Of course, it would be a Yankees franchise, and probably maybe a Road to the Show series as well. So if you're for that, you're not for that, go vote on the community poll I posted a couple days ago. Vote yes or no. Hopefully you vote yes, because I really do want to do it. Anyways, so starting off today's show, we're going to go with the biggest news, which occurred 2 days ago when Luis Severino was scratched 10 minutes before his first spring start of the year. He was revealed that he had right shoulder inflammation in an MRI, and that the Yankees are shutting him down for 2 weeks, and he's most likely going to miss opening day. It's pretty much a guarantee, at least to me, that he will. I don't see him coming back till early May. Right shoulder inflammation, that's not something you really want to fuck with. And of course, he still has to build up his arm strength and everything. So I'm going to say third week in April, but realistically, I'm saying first week in May. If he isn't getting shoulder surgery, that would be horrible, and that would be devastating, and I'd fucking kill myself. This also brings up the question of who's going to start opening day for the Yankees. I'm thinking right now it's probably going to be Masahiro Tanaka. Aaron Boone said today that they're definitely considering him to be the guy, but James Paxton was set to be the Yankees' number 2 guy behind Severino. So, I mean, technically, Severino's injured, so James Paxton would just slide in as the number 1. But you gotta think, opening day, that is an honor for a pitcher, and Masahiro Tanaka has been the guy before in 2015, 2016, and 2017. It's honestly crazy to think that Masahiro Tanaka has been a Yankee now for 5 seasons. It seems like just yesterday that he came over to the States. It's crazy. And let's not ignore how good Tanaka has been for the Yankees. I mean, I've been posting about him a lot this past year, ever since, actually, mostly ever since the start in Boston, where that was the only game the Yankees won, and he continued to step up for them in the playoffs. In 30 postseason innings as a Yankee, like career-wise, he has a 1.5 ERA. I mean, think about the games that he's pitched for the Yankees against Houston in the ALCS, against Cleveland, and against Boston. I mean, he truly has been worth every penny the Yankees have given him. And it's so awesome because you can just tell he really does hold back a little extra something in the tank for when big games come. And speaking of the Yankees rotation right now, CC Sabathia is reportedly likely to start the season on the injured list. Aaron Boone said this was expected because he did undergo off-season knee surgery, so the timetable for him to return, when you include throwing programs, making his first start of the spring, they expect it more so to be around week 2 or 3 of the season, and he does have that 5-game suspension looming as well from the That's For You bitch game in Tampa last year. And it really makes you start to think that maybe the Yankees should consider adding a Gio Gonzalez, who you probably could fetch for sub $5 million a year. And it's not even just in terms of the fact that Luis Severino and CC Sabathia are going to be on the IL to start the season. It's just, I mean, no club is going to have a rotation full of 5 guys who make 33 starts a year. It's just not going to happen. And if you're relying on Domingo Germán and Jonathan Loaisiga to get you through those injuries, that's ridiculous. Not Loaisiga, more so just Germán. I don't know what games the Yankees were watching, but Germán was absolutely fucking brutal last year. He couldn't locate for shit. He's not going to be able to locate any better in April weather. Germán has great stuff, he just can't locate it, can't really put it all together. I mean, we've seen flashes of a great future. His first start this year, or 2018 rather, when he no-hit Cleveland for like 6 innings, he was filthy that day. And then the next week, he goes and gives up like 4 runs. The next week later, he gives up like 6. He was horrible. He was horrible. Besides his first start, he was horrible last year. Not saying he's not going to be good in the future, but in terms of 2019, Gio Gonzalez for $5 million. Obviously, he's not what he used to be. Hasn't pitched in the American League in over 10 years. Don't know how that's going to turn out, but who am I going to take my chances with? Domingo Germán or experienced Gio Gonzalez? Only thing, though, that definitely eases me a little bit in terms of the Yankees pitching injuries is that their offense really is going to be so good. And it seems like Aaron Judge, I mean, I've been saying this since October, that Aaron Judge is going to have an MVP season in 2019. And he's really looking good in spring training so far. Hitting .400, has 3 dongs and 3 doubles in 6 games, slugging .1200. And this is coming off a postseason performance last year where he was tremendous. Anyone who says that Aaron Judge isn't a top 5 player in baseball is a fucking idiot. When you go since Judge's rookie season in 2017 and you calculate WAR per 162 games played, Judge is 3rd behind Mike Trout and Mookie Betts. He's an extremely underrated defender. He has a career on base of .400, was on pace for a 40-homer season last year after hitting 52 homers in his rookie season, drove in 114 runs his rookie year, But yeah, I really think that Aaron Judge is going to be up there competing for the AL MVP this year with Mike Trout and Mookie Betts. I mean, last year was a quote-unquote down year, and he still had an OBP of 400, slugged like 530, 27 homers in, 112 games, on pace for 40 dongs. That's the thing with Judge. Judge hits good pitching. With the exception of one postseason series in Cleveland, the ALDS, Aaron Judge has been tremendous in the playoffs. He just wasn't good in Cleveland. One series. And besides obviously just being excited for opening day and a new baseball season, I'm just really excited to see what Judge does do this year. Obviously, since October, I've been predicting him to win AL MVP. I have him hitting 50 home runs again for the second time in his career, hitting 300 even though batting average doesn't matter, having an OBP of 420. It's very similar to his rookie year, hopefully a little more consistent. I don't care about strikeouts whatsoever. If you're getting on base at a 400 clip, I don't care how you get out whatsoever. I don't care if you strike out, fly out, ground out, doesn't matter whatsoever. It's one of the stupidest fucking narratives out there, please. Alright, so now we're going to transition to the question side of things. Like I mentioned every episode, if you haven't followed Yankees Avenue on Instagram yet, make sure you go and do so because that is where I get these questions from. Starting it off, Jake_Kingsley13 asks, will Russell Wilson play this spring? I don't really think so. I don't think the Yankees haven't really heard too much from Russell Wilson apparently, and they're not expecting him to report to camp, so I guess not. Thomas V. Cap asks, predictions for both Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton. Judge, like I mentioned before and many times before, I have him winning AL MVP in 2019. Stan, I think he's going to have a much better 2019. Not to say he had a bad 2018 whatsoever. Did hit 38 bombs, drove in 100 runs, slugged 530, had a weighted runs created plus of about 130, which is 30 points above league average. He really did carry the Yankees for a while when Judge was out, up until about early September. So yeah, I think he's going to post like a 340, 350 on base, hit 45 homers, drive in 110. And you never know, he may post a season like his 2017 MVP year where he hit 59 homers. And actually another bold prediction, I posted this to Twitter the other day for Aaron Judge. I actually think there's a chance he might hit 60 home runs in 2019. Crazy, yes, but in 2017, if he didn't hit 3 homers in August and say if he hit 11 home runs in August, he would have hit 60. He posted home run totals of 15, 10 twice in 2017, so 11 definitely would have been attainable if he just didn't have that shoulder injury. Obviously, he finished with 52, 8 short of 60, but if he hit 11 in August instead of 3, he would have hit the mark. So I think there's definitely a possibility that a healthy Aaron Judge could hit 60 homers this year. And hey, if he hit 62 one day, he would be the single-season record holder, so, or the real one for that matter. And that's nothing to go against Barry Bonds. I think Barry Bonds is the greatest player of all time, but in terms of record-wise, can't deny it's definitely tainted. Frankie.F_22 asks, does Jacoby Ellsbury still have a chance to make a comeback? Well, apparently he's going to be starting baseball activities next week, or a week or two from now, so I mean, yeah, I guess he's probably going to start the season on the IL, the injured list. But in terms of how much of an impact he can make, I don't think it's too. I don't think there's too much of a chance for that. PZ87 asks, will the trip to London be worth it for both teams? I mean, for the teams, no. It's not going to be anything that's really going to benefit the teams. I'm sure they get some sort of bonus from it, but it's definitely going to benefit the MLB, like marketability-wise, internationally. I know I myself won't be going there. The tickets are like stupid high, and I usually never complain about baseball ticket prices, but it is to the point of absurdity, so I definitely won't be going, and that's not even counting like plane fare, all that jazz. Pinstripes report asks, how many cards does Dan burn a week? It's classified. Sean McCann 23 asks, Tulowitzki at shortstop and DJ at second with Glaber at short for opening day. Oh, you're saying or DJ at second. Tulowitzki I think is definitely going to start at short opening day, and Glaber will be the everyday guy at second. DJ's just going to fill in here and there, probably going to start about 4 to 5 games a week at different positions, and it's probably going to play about 130 to 140 games a year. I love the DJ signing. I didn't at first, I love it now. Yankees Mount Rushmore. Well, Ruth, Gehrig, DiMaggio, Mantle. What is Mount Rushmore? 4? Well, definitely Ruth, definitely Gehrig. Yep, Ruth, Gehrig, DiMaggio, Mantle. Jason.Eldreldo 2 asks, will A-Rod end up in the Hall of Fame? Honestly, that's really tough to say. I mean, if Bonds and Clemens don't get in, then definitely not. If Bonds and Clemens do get in, then I definitely think that opens up a door for A-Rod. A-Rod's case is really different, though, because Bonds and Clemens, they used, yes, but they used at a time where there wasn't penalties in place. A-Rod, of course, did. The second time with the biogenesis scandal, that really was the main problem. That's probably why he will end up in the Hall of Fame. If he just had the one hiccup, the 2001 to 2003 in Texas, then honestly, he probably would have been fine. I personally think that A-Rod would have been just as good without steroids, and that's what's so sad about it. It really does suck. He's a fucking moron for that, and I love A-Rod. There's no bigger A-Rod supporter than me out there. But he was the last guy that needed performance enhancers. Sean McCann again asks, is there any possibility of Trout signing with the Yankees in 2020? I mean, yeah, there's definitely a possibility. If I had to bet money on something, I would figure he's going to either stay with the Angels or go to Philly. Obviously, with Bryce Harper now in Philly making $25 million a year, that could change things, but Phillies definitely do have some financial flexibility with that. I mean, I never imagined the Yankees wouldn't really be in on Machado or Harper. I can't really imagine they're not going to be in on Trout. That would shock me. Alex2420 asks, are the Red Sox being underrated? Honestly, no, not really. Most projections have them finishing about 90 wins, obviously down 18 from the 108 they won last year. Craig Kimbrell, he's not going to resign. They lost Joe Kelly. Stephen Wright's just been suspended for PEDs. They really have not improved whatsoever. I don't even know what offseason moves they've made. I'm not sure if they've made any. And it's hard, very hard to replicate a 108-win season. Everything pretty much has to go right to win 108 games. I definitely think they're going to win about 95, so I guess, yeah, they kind of are being underrated. But I definitely have the Yankees winning the division. I have a lot of money on the Yankees winning the division. I'm very confident they're going to win the division. Jose.Cucci asks, how many homers does Judge finish his career with? The disadvantage Judge had is that he started his career around age 25, so obviously he doesn't really have the longevity factor to hit 600, 700 home runs. He probably will finish in like the 400 to 500 mark, maybe 350 to 450 mark. But that won't affect any chance at his Hall of Fame. I mean, if he keeps putting up seasons the way he does, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. Jose Solano 4 asks, are you for the Yankees using the opener? I don't prefer it, but if it works, if they think it's the better chance of winning, then yeah, sure. Especially with the idea that Domingo Germán could be starting games for the Yankees, I'm totally for an opener in April, while Luis Severino and CC Sabathia recover from injury. Sean Hun 17 asks, are you worried about Severino? As of right now, I'm not worried about Severino because he said that he wasn't worried about it whatsoever. He just felt it once he threw a slider, but he knew it was nothing bad, so he's not worried. If there is setbacks with Severino, I'll start to be really worried. I'll panic. Mark.Cantus asks, who has the better year, Miguel Andujar or Gleyber Torres? That's a good question. I definitely think Gleyber Torres has a higher ceiling, so I'm probably going to go with Gleyber Torres. Miguel Andujar still has to work on his defense a lot. He has to work on getting on base, taking pitches. Gleyber Torres, I think, definitely is the more complete package. Obviously, Andujar did have the better year last year in the end. I think a healthy Gleyber Torres, though, will definitely be a damn good player next year. But not to say Andujar won't be. I think they'll both have great years. Alright, last question of the day. Dan.Hartino99 asks, who is your favorite pitcher on the Yankees and outside of the Yankees? On the Yankees, either Masahiro Tanaka or CC Sabathia. Maybe Luis Severino is a close 3. Outside of the Yankees, I'm going to go with Blake Snell. I've loved Snell ever since he made his debut against the Yankees in 2016. Obviously, he had a great 2018, won the Cy Young. And he's really interactive with fans, and I love that shit. So yeah, Blake Snell is definitely the guy. Alright, so that's going to be a wrap on the 3rd episode of the Yankees Avenue podcast, and I understand these are incredibly short right now. They will get longer as the season unfolds, as we get into the regular season. I just can't really have a 30-minute to 60-minute podcast during spring training. Anyways, so I just want to reiterate, make sure you use code NYYHR for $20 off your SeatGeek order. It can help you guys out a ton and helps me out a ton. And be sure to follow at Yankees Avenue and at NYY Home Runs on Instagram and at Dan Allen Rourke on Instagram and Twitter. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and like the video. And we'll see you next Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time.
Her body's gold like September. She burns through the night like an ember. And all those things we try forgetting, I remember. But we say we all fine, we all fine. Sunny day dreams and we up now. Vodka lemonade, I serve it up, it goes down. 75 degrees in a dope sound. All you need to live fine, to live fine. A little sunshine cause she needed a dose of rainfall in the evening. The waves crash down and we feel them. Say here's through the nights we steal them. And I be running cause I figured out, the more I slow down the less I get out. And if we fall, let's be strong now. Moving along, we don't mind, we don't mind. All the good comes in waves. I buy my time by the ocean. And at night, I'm awake to feel the wake of your motion. And I want something that's feeling alright. Loose cannon, but still it won't fight. No need to leave, spend our whole lives. Another day in paradise. I'll be gone till November. Going through the letters that I send her, and thinking about the moment that I met her. Well, I'll be back in due time, in due time. Touchdown, throw off my own 2 shoes. Still the same city I've been used to. And all the reckless things that we do keep us young, they're good signs, they're good signs. Take a little more if you need it. Voices of the night won't mislead it. The tide pulls me in, but it takes slow. Here's to the nights we let go. And I'm hoping that they figure out it's all about the scenery along the route. No fears and no problems. These moments are so kind, they're so kind. All the good comes in waves. I buy my time by the ocean, and at night I'm awake to feel the wake of your motion. And I want something that's feeling alright. Loose cannon but still it won't fight. No need to leave, spend our whole lives. Another day in paradise. I don't need what I've sold, I just need something good. And I know when we're old, we'll look back and say some mistakes we made, they made us who we are. These games we played, they got us really far. That shit to most won't ever mean a thing, but it got us here, so I hold on. All the good comes in waves. I buy my time by the ocean, and at night I'm awake to feel the wake of your motion.